This is Sunil Sunder Raj with Jersey Sporting News. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Trey Watkins, a recent graduate of St. Joseph Regional High School in Montville, New Jersey, a defensive back on the varsity football team, and will be attending Lafayette College. Trey, once again, thank you so much, for the opportunity to interview you. Congrats on your success.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on here. I'm excited. Let's talk some football.
Yes, indeed. You had an outstanding, career at St. Joseph Regional High School. Played, as you said, a multitude of sports, but football was, really, I think, your mainstay. And I mean, the way you were able to excel on the gridiron and, in terms of, playing defense, playing, a variety of positions, both for, of course, head coaches Augie Hoffman and Dan Morangi. You've had, some time now to reflect, back on, what you were able to accomplish there at St. Joe's. Just was wondering what comes to your mind first and foremost, Trey.
Oh man, I mean, just being here now in the position I'm in, I'm just extremely grateful. I give all thanks to God, my family. It was a journey, man. It was a journey. There were a lot of sacrifices coming from Del Barton freshman year to St. Joe's through Augie Hoffman. I was traveling 3 hours round trip every day to go to school for practices in the summertime, when there was mandatory workouts. So reflecting back on it, I could just remember all the times of my parents telling me, it's worth it. It's gonna, at the end, you won't regret it, just to keep striving for greatness, staying level-headed. I even remember my parents selling their house so that we can move closer to the school towards my junior year, which was huge for me, because my family just really supported me cold-heartedly all the way through the end of my high school career.
Yeah, no, definitely showing that commitment, that dedication. That's tremendous. Just let's talk about your senior year. Just I was looking at some of the stats. You definitely, I mean, those numbers, definitely upticked. Just talk about heading into your final season in terms of, preparing, both physically, mentally, just, getting your body right. We always talk about how nutrition also plays an important role, rest and recovery. Just talk about all those elements, just, heading into the season, and also personal goals that you set out for as well, Trey.
Okay, so at the end of my junior year, I felt like the job wasn't finished. We had a tough loss against Don Bosco Prep at home, last play of the game, and that really stuck with me throughout the summer, all the way up until the first game of senior year. When I went home, I wrote down all these goals about eating better. So I got on a meal plan. I started eating better, hydrating more, stretching, basically doing a lot more aerobic training as well. And then I also met a really important mentor of mine, Sylvester Wright, who is also known as Coach Get Right, who ended up being my defensive back specialist coach, helping me positionally wise, and also with knowledge of the game and understanding concepts and everything that's going on in the game. So I was with him all summer, basically almost every day, as well as I was introduced to a multitude of NFL players that I got to work with before going into mandatory workouts in the summer with St. Joe's, like Arthur Millette, who is now starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Brian Poole, who just got signed, I believe, by the Saints again. And then as well as Marcus May, who just got a big contract. So I was around all those guys, and a lot of that really fueled me. And, I wanted to basically take after them. And I basically copied every single workout that they did, everything that they did. I was around, I took notes. I was just able to really absorb all the information and from athletes of the highest degree and the highest level. And, as a result, it really paid off. Coming into senior year, I think I improved extremely from junior year, mentally, physically, as well as just understanding the game more. And I think that's what led to my success.
Yeah, just hearing you talk and just describe your training methods, that you're a real student of the game, and that's I think what you have to be, in terms of watching film and just during the practices, again picking up on what other athletes are doing as well, and that's just again just outstanding. Hey, again. We talk about being versatile. I mean, outside linebacker, safety, nickel, special teams, cornerback, labeled the Swiss Army knife of defense,
Yes.
and also a boomstick for your, I said your hits, that you deliver to opponents. I had to ask you about that, Trey.
Funny story. So my nickname used to be Sweet Feet.
Okay.
And that was given to me by Arthur Millette,
Okay.
who is a really close friend of mine now. I actually talk to him all the time, and send him videos and clips and ask him what I could do better,
Yeah.
all these things. And he actually gave me the nickname because he said I had really, really good feet, but I just never used them.
Yeah.
So during the drills and stuff, he can tell I wasn't up to par with moving my feet. But he said, listen, when you master this, you're going to be extremely lethal on the field, and it's going to be really hard for a lot of receivers to create space and get open on you. So he said, just keep working. But I was actually given the name Boomstick from my opponents. So one of my friends from DePaul Catholic, we actually played in their game, and I hit him one play. And then I saw him, I want to say like the week after, somewhere out. And he was like, you know what, people should start calling you Boomstick, because he was like, man, I still feel that hit. And so I kind of just adopted it. And now I'm kind of doing a lot of stuff with it, kind of making it into a NIL deal.
Wow, that's great.
And turning it into kind of my own brand and my own logo. But yeah.
I think that's incredible, just to be able, be creative and unique. And that's just, to sort of set yourself apart. I think that's what everybody strives to do. And I think, being able to capitalize on that is really, again, wonderful, Trey. We talked about you being heavily recruited. You said that's the one thing, said, and it's interesting, when you provided the notes that you played quarterback and it said offense during your younger years in Pop Warner. I'm just wondering about that, making that transition from offense to defense. Just talk about that, Trey.
So as when you're younger and you're playing Pop Warner and you're playing flag and you're coming up, nobody wants to be on the defense. No one wants to play corner. No one wants to play safety. Everyone wants the ball. Everyone wants to make the highlight play. Everyone wants to be that guy. And that's kind of what I did. I always played quarterback, running back. But believe it or not, I actually played D tackle when I was younger as well.
Okay.
I wasn't big at all, but I was just a menace, and they would just stick me right on the middle, and I would just run in every single play and make the tackle. But playing quarterback, I always naturally had it. So my dad actually played quarterback when he was younger in high school and in Pop Warner. Okay. So I always had the intangibles, the throw power. I played baseball. I was a really good thrower. I was in the outfield. I was able to move. I was fast. I was always fast. And I just kind of had the playmaking ability in me, from a young age. So playing quarterback kind of just came natural. But as I got to high school, the opportunity was there for me to play varsity as a freshman. And they said, have you ever played defensive back before? And I was like, no, but listen, I'll do whatever it takes to get on the field. So I actually got to play some special teams. And then I also started a few games as a freshman at corner. So that's how I got into it. And it was a big change. Like I said, a freshman and sophomore year, I just, was playing off straight ability, straight athleticism, speed, just whatever I knew at that point. But as I got to junior and senior year, I really gained the knowledge on the position and how it works, and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
and that helped me kind of put it all together.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's what I was going to ask you in terms of what you were able to absorb, what you were able to learn from your freshman year at Del Bar, and then apply that as you moved up the ladder here in terms of transferring to St. Joe's. And I know that you have a very special relationship with Coach Hoffman, said now, of course, at Rutgers University on the football team there. And that really led you to, St. Joe's. Talk about that, Trey.
the relationship that I had with Augie Hoffman is really special. He actually played at Boston College with my godfather, Antonio Garay, and they got to play on the same team. And my dad remembers bringing me as a little baby to go watch my godfather, and Augie would come up to him, hug him. He would be with my mom, so he knew me since I was a little baby.
Yeah.
But just coming from Del Barton, I learned. I wouldn't say I learned technique. I learned how to adjust to the speed of the game. I think that was the biggest part of it.
Yeah.
The biggest part was adjusting to, playing with people that were 2 and 3 years older than you, playing against 17, 18-year-old seniors who basically were grown men, and just learning, what can and can you do? Should I play up on this guy? Should I back up? Do I want to get physical with this guy? He looks a little bigger than me. Do I do this? Do I do that? Just becoming a smarter football player. I just felt really comfortable transferring to St. Joe's with Augie. We always have a special relationship. We still do to this day. I can call him and ask him for anything. My dad still stays in touch with him. We wish him the best. Unfortunately, he had to leave. But that's life. And I have nothing but positive things to say about Augie. Just a wonderful coach and a great guy.
That's great. Hey, and talk about that, with head coach Dan Morangi, taking over the rest of the coaching staff, what, they meant to you, said these past 3 years and with your development as well, Trey.
I would like to give a special shout out to Coach Dan Morangi for always sticking by me. I remember as a sophomore, I really didn't live up to what the expectations that I had for myself. He always told me, you just keep working. He saw it in me from day one. He always said I was a Division I athlete. He always said, you're going to do these things, you're going to accomplish all these things. And, you just got to keep working and learn from the people in front of you and all the upperclassmen. And then as well as the other coaches, Coach Frank was a big part of my, big time recruitment. Coach Church helped me a lot. Coach Church was, that coach that put the fire under my butt and said, listen, if you want it, you got to go get it. Coach Decon was my linebackers coach. I kind of got to experience a lot of different coaches because I played so many different positions.
That's true.
But a lot of them really, they were the ones that really changed my football ability and my knowledge of the game. It was a really pivotal moment at St. Joe's with all those coaches.
That's terrific. I have to ask you, when you're out there on the field, from your perspective, you can take people behind, the scenes, like in terms of, what you see there, as out on the field as a defensive back and playing even the other positions as well. Just had to get your take on that as well, Trey.
It's interesting. You always have to be alert. You always have to be attentive. You have to think situationally. So, 1st and 10, they might run the ball here. 3rd and 10, they're definitely throwing. It's very complicated. But the more you play, just like anything, the more you practice, you get better at it. And playing defensive back, and when you step back there, you have to be confident. You have to be confident in your ability, and you have to know what's going on. And if you don't, it'll be a long day for you. But I try to just take it one play at a time. You always have to take it one play at a time. A lot of football is audibles and changing and adjusting. And that's basically what a defensive back has to do, because you're not, playing, against one person. You're not playing against the receiver. And at safety, you're playing against the quarterback. And the quarterback runs the entire offense. So you're basically playing against 11 people. So, you just have to you just have to know your job as well as know your teammates' jobs and help them. Because a lot of the times it's, if you see something because you're farther back, they may not see it. So you have to call it out and just be aware. And then also you just have to play aggressive, instinctive. All those things, fit into a defensive back. Because at one point, you're going to have to come up and make a tackle. You're going to have to break up a pass. You're going to have to run with the receiver. So there's a lot of different aspects of playing defensive back.
No, it's true. Okay. It must have felt good that you had a winning record, I said all 3 seasons. But I had to ask you any memorable moments that really stand out to you the most here, the past 3 years, Trey.
Oh man, I would have to probably go with this past season. We played Good Counsel. at the park in I want to say I don't even know what town it was, but we played good council. It was a very good game. I just remember us. That was the first game we really kind of came together as a team. It was the first game of the season, and we were, a little nervous, and we didn't know how, the season was going to go, and that really just kind of turned our team for the better for the rest of the season. And I just remember we lost, but we definitely should have won the game. So that kind of just gave us the confidence that we needed to continue the season and grow as a unit.
That's great. Hey, talk about this senior class, Trey. How special it was to play with these, these guys. Again, the past couple of years here, past 3 years.
It was definitely special. Not only just because I came in and I developed a great relationship with them, but also because we experienced COVID together. We experienced what it was to have no fans at the games.
Yeah.
We experienced the workouts where coaches weren't able to be inside the room with us. We experienced where, we had to come at different times to be in the weight room because we couldn't all be in there at the same time. We went through a lot together as a class, and I'm just so proud of all the things that each guy has accomplished. So many people have improved. A lot of Division I athletes, a lot of people that, even developed as teammates, because a lot of it was, not being around each other enough to kind of develop that sense of, you're my teammate. I have to, do more for you. I have to help you. But I think we turned out pretty great.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, talk about senior day, playing that final regular season, game. I mean, it's an emotional day, it said you have a football game to play, but you're also celebrating the seniors and their accomplishments and what they have meant to the program. Just talk about that day, Trey.
That day was special again, just throughout the whole experience of COVID and everything. It was kind of like our last, hooray as together, and that we got to celebrate. We played a few games after, but that kind of was our game, and we dominated Montclair. We beat them really bad. So we got to celebrate as a team. And it was just special because a lot of kids got in. So we put in a lot of seniors that, don't really, didn't really play a lot or get a lot of playing time, but they were able to get in and cause an impact in the game. So that was really good to see. And then just overall cheering up our teammates, I felt really good just knowing that, the person next to me, we were graduating together and I was playing for him.
Yeah. Okay, St. Joe's has a storied, brotherhood, culture, and tradition. And I know recently it said, and tragically, said a very good teammate of yours, passed away in Cy Menard. I wanted to give you, of course, the floor, to talk about Cy, what he meant to you. I know he was a very, good friend, a teammate, a brother, family to you. So just wanted to, give you that opportunity, Trey.
Yeah. This is a little, soft still, very, very recent.
But I know you did something to honor his memory. So
yes. So Cy, of course, was a special player. He played at St. Joe's. He ended up attending St. Thomas More in Connecticut as doing a grad year, and then he also was about to start at Sacred Heart a week before his passing. So rest in peace, Cy. But he kind of was a model that I strive to become as a person. He was always that friend that if you needed him, he was always there. He would take his shirt off his back for you, it's really sad. So I actually started to make bracelets in honor of his memory, and then they say Cy, long live Cy 99, and then it has the Vir Fidelis inside. And I started selling those bracelets, and I'm going to give all the money to his family. I actually raised about $2,000 already. So I'll give that to his family. And I actually got to speak at the funeral. I did a eulogy, which was very, heartwarming. I felt like I got a lot of stuff off my chest.
Yeah.
It's just tragic, but my plan is to live on both of our dreams of playing the NFL. I can't wait to bring him to the top with me because I know he's with me always.
Very nice. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Thank you, for sharing that. Hey, I wanted to go back to that tradition, wearing that Green Knights jersey, that helmet, the number 3 jersey, what that represented to you, not only when, during practices, but also then when it came to game day, just, before you would take the field. And then, of course, running onto that field. Just talk about those moments, Trey.
Well, wearing a St. Joe's jersey is a special privilege as it is, but wearing single digit numbers is probably even more of a privilege. Just knowing the history that St. Joe's has with producing Division I athletes as well as collegiate and pro athletes, and just knowing that the person before me, Michael Amo, who wore number 3, is at Purdue now, being successful and shining. It's just a big honor. It's a big honor. And, I don't take it lightly. When I wear that jersey, I play my heart out. And I always do, no matter what. But just wearing that jersey is just very special to me. Just the green and gold colors represent a lot. I wouldn't want to, trade it for the world. And I appreciate, all the coaches for helping me. My family, for sacrificing and letting me, attend St. Joe's, because they understood as well that it was worth it. And it shows.
Okay, talk about playing home games. I think it's one of the best environments in North Jersey there at St. Joe's, St. Joseph Regional High School. Just talk about that as well. And then even those road games and, rival games, kids, Brigham Catholic, Don Bosco Prep, Rams Catholic, DePaul Catholic, St. Peter's Prep. Just talk about that, Trey.
Well, I'm a fan of road games. I love road games. I love upsetting people in front of their home crowd. But the atmosphere at the games is like no other. I've been to a lot of high school games in my career, in my life, and I could honestly say it's a battle every week in the Big North, in North Jersey. And just running out on the field, you feel like you're in front of 1,000, 3,000 people every time you run out. And when we play, it's competitive. You can feel it's not just the opponent's hatred for you. It's literally like histories of them playing, and it's like you can't disappoint the people that came before you. Whenever you have alumni from 10, 20 years ago come to games and they're more hyped up than some of the people playing, that just shows you the tradition that it really runs deep. And playing against Bosco Bergen is always it's always a dogfight. When you go into those games, that's kind of what you live for. That's what you play football for. That's when you play against the best of the best every week. And it's an unexplainable feeling running out with your brothers.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, just not only you have the state of New Jersey watching, but you're on a national stage as well. That's just great to see that the state of New Jersey is so well respected. Everybody talked about California, Texas, Florida, but to see New Jersey on the map as well right there is just fabulous. I wanted to switch to being a student athlete, because that's really what it's about as well. And you have definitely have earned those accolades, being on the honor roll, inducted into the National Honor Society, taking AP and honors classes here during your senior year. Just talk about that, be able to strike that right balance, have that time management and that organization down pat, Trey.
I think it all started when I was younger. As soon as I was coming up, my parents always stressed academics first. I remember my dad saying, if you get anything under a 90, you're not playing this year football. So it was always a big thing to them. And of course, me being the only child, the expectations were a lot more on me. The rigor was, of course, way harder than someone who would have a sibling. So I think they just really emphasized always putting school first, and it showed. I was recruited by a lot of the Ivy Leagues. I had offers from UPenn, and I had a huge interest from Princeton, Yale, Harvard. So just being named with those schools, you really have it is a sacrifice. You have to basically come home after hours of practice because I'm playing on, like you said, a national stage, and the football is big time. So coming home really late, a lot of people just kind of I'll do my homework tomorrow, I'll go to bed, I'll get some rest. I was the kid that stayed up. I was the kid that put in hours of study time, hours of hard work in the classroom, to be successful, so I can make my, not only my parents proud, but me, so.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's just it's really great to see. Had to ask you about the St. Joseph Regional High School student body, administration, and of course, athletics as well. President Mr. Kevin McNulty, principal Mr. Michael Bruno, and I think head coach Dan Morangi was the interim AD. But just talk about having that support system, that structure in place. I think it's so critical in terms of if especially athletics, is going to be successful. Just talk about that component, Trey.
Just from the whole transition over, from transferring from Del Bar into St. Joe's, I feel like the support system was really unmatched at St. Joe's. Everyone is on board with the athletes, not just football, but if you play basketball, baseball, they really do help you. They really do support you, and I really truly think that they love you as a person. Even graduating, I got to spend some time with my principal, and then there's a lot of other little people that a lot of people don't see, that are in the background, that really love you and help you. Like I could just think of names off the top, like Miss Sharon Kozik, who works in the office, who was Coach Dan Morangi's assistant. I just remember her just always trying to help me. Do you need anything? Do you need extra help? Just having counselors in the school for athletes. Just all of that is it was basically a result of having a really good football program, and they basically contributed to that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm just wondering, for you personally, what made St. Joseph's High School, St. Joseph's Regional High School so special, to attend, and also the community. I didn't want to forget the community as well. I mean, parents, and just people, I think, within the football program as well. Trey.
I just think that it was special because everyone was just extremely genuine, and I think that you don't really find that everywhere. A lot of times, like you said, it's very competitive. People are trying to go to college for free, and that's why you go there. So a lot of the times, the goal can kind of get misstrued with, the real intentions of, how a person should be. But I think at St. Joe's, it's just very genuine. They're used to it. It's a tradition. No matter what, your son is going to go to college. So they don't put that first. They put, is your son happy? Is your son being treated the way he wants to be treated? And all that stuff combined. And I think that they do an amazing job of that at St. Joe's. And that's why it was always special to me. Even my teammates' parents, they always looked out. They always helped. Everyone knew the sacrifice that I was going through, and they were always there to help me no matter what. So
that's wonderful. Hey, I said in the beginning, you're going to be attending Lafayette College. You're going to be playing on the football team, and I know that. And you had indicated you established an immediate connection, said with head coach John Truxell. And I'm sure the rest of the coaching staff and the players and the team. Just talk about that. It's a decision. I'm sure it was pretty much of a seamless transition and, easy one to make. So just wanted to give you, that opportunity just to talk about it, Trey.
So I actually committed to another head coach who was John Garrett. He was a very, very, very great guy. And so was the staff that was there before the new staff came in. I just connected with everyone, and everyone, I wish nothing but the best. I still stay in contact with them and, just see how they're doing. And, they're just wishing me luck at Lafayette next year. But as soon as Coach Troxel came in, it was just an immediate connection. I just felt that trust with him. I was, one of the first people he called to let know that he was going to be the new coach. And, he made it clear that he wanted me on his team and that he wanted me to play. And as he built the rest of the staff, everyone just came in and just was very genuine. And it kind of felt like a St. Joe's to me. It kind of felt like, that genuineness that, I felt in high school. And as well as, that competitive spirit, because, I want to be coached by someone that kind of relates to me, that wants to win. That's, hungry to work, hungry to, be better. And I just connected with the new staff immediately. I'm very, very excited. I get there June 13th, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to work. So
Yeah, no, that's outstanding. I know they have a motto. Provided that. I think it's "cur non," which means why not, and that definitely has stuck with you. Said with you throughout your life. Just talk about that, and I know just further along. Said having that underdog mentality as well. Just talk about that, Trey.
So just coming up, from sophomore to junior year, I didn't have any scholarship offers. I had a few interests here and there, but I just really just put my head down and worked. And as a result, I gained a lot of scholarships and interests. But I kind of looked back on it and I said to myself, you know what, like this is really amazing. Like I really did it, but it didn't take me, playing or, it was based off what I had worked for. And I kind of looked back and said, why not can I do more?
Yeah.
Why can't I not eat more? Why can't I not work out harder? Why can I not, make this tackle in the next play? And I kind of just use that, not even on the field, but just in life, why can't I strive to reach, my academic goals that I'm trying to achieve? Why can't I get in the honor society? Why can't I?
Yeah.
So I just kind of used that, I still use it to this day, just striving to be better as a person and a football player.
Those coaching providers are so motivational. I think that, and I said, it's such an inspiration, your story, that one of them, that there isn't anything I can't do, when I'm counted out. Even as underdog, I have constantly risen to the occasion, proving the naysayers wrong, thrived and succeeded. I mean, those are powerful words to live by. And I'm sure you will carry, said not only into college, but for the rest of your life, Trey.
Yes. And that's kind of how I connected with Cy Menard. We both came up, we were playing junior varsity, I remember. And I just remember him, talking to me like, dang man, like, we're not even playing varsity, we're traveling up here. He was coming from New York and I was coming from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Probably the same, amount of time, but just different directions. And, we just talked about, I just remember always talking about, being the underdog, being, being that person that just, we weren't the cream of the crop at the time. And we just worked our butt off and, we both ended up really successful. But I think that's really how we connected in the beginning, just being the underdog and really believing and trusting the process and, just trusting, what God could really do for someone.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I know that leadership is important to you as well. And you definitely demonstrated that at St. Joe's here the past 3 years. And I'm sure that's something, again, here heading into Lafayette College, your freshman year, that you want to also have as well, like, be able to showcase to people as well, Trey.
Yes. Just bringing in, even me being a freshman, just bringing in that competitive spirit, challenging the older kids. I think that's what I'm probably going to do best at. Just coming in and saying, you guys are seniors, but, I'm still here to work, and you have to fight for your spot against me. I'm a freshman, I'm coming in, but, I'm coming in, with a purpose. I have goals just like you have goals. And, I'm going to try to make my teammates better. From being a freshman, you really can't, let's necessarily say lead, but you can definitely contribute to basically the entire team getting better, and that's you leading. And I am leading, my incoming class of at Lafayette. So I'm excited for that.
Great job wearing the shirt.
Yes. I had to represent.
Hey, you're not done playing football. You're representing St. Joseph Regional in the Phil Simms New Jersey All-Stars North-South Classic on Sunday, June 12th at King University. I mean, how excited are you, to play in that game, Trey?
I'm pumped up. I just want to thank, Coach Phil Simms for giving me the opportunity. It's an honor to be picked. Like I said, I always play my heart out. I understand I'm going to college soon, but that doesn't stop me from, putting in a lot of work before the game and also, trying my hardest in the game, just to represent, St. Joe's and my family. So I'm just super pumped. It's like a dream come true. Like, going into a Division I school for college, and then also playing in an all-star game that you used to go to as a little kid, and watch all these different people playing it. And, you telling your parents, like, I'm going to be playing in here one day. I'm going to be playing in this one day. So just a super, I'm just really excited. And I'm so happy that I was able to accomplish.
Yeah, no, so happy for you. I know I wanted to just, I have a couple more left. Trey, can't thank you enough for the time. I wanted to include this as well, that on graduation day, you had a special, said message, on your cap topper. If you want, just to let everyone know out there, because I think it means quite a bit. And I think it should be shared by you.
On my cap topper, I had a saying that my mom always says, and it says, "With all things, God, with God, all things are possible." There's a lot of things that I live by, but I would say that's probably the biggest. Just coming, like you said, from being an underdog to now where I am in the position I am right now. I just really believe in that statement, and it just helped me. It just helped me a lot through the tough times that I experienced. Where a lot of people couldn't really help me. It was more of a personal thing. And to be where I am and just to have the confidence that I have now, there's the only person I could really thank is God. I just believe that I'm destined for a lot of greater things. And I'm excited to see what the future holds. And I will always keep God first. And I believe that nothing is impossible when He's first.
You've been playing sports since you were 4 years old. I mean, and I don't want to leave this out as well. Wrestling, basketball, and baseball won over 100 wrestling matches and events in states. I mean, that is just, remarkable. I mean, just being able to, again, not too many athletes can say, they were multi-star athletes and they were able to thrive and flourish on that, biggest stage. Just talk about that.
So unfortunately, when I got to high school, I kind of narrowed it down and said, listen, I want to be a football player. But a lot of people did not know that I was actually a really big star in wrestling, and I was a really big star in baseball. Basketball was more of my dad's thing. My dad played at St. John's for college. And I remember the first time picking up a basketball, he goes, you're not a basketball player. So I just remember that moment. But I mean, I excelled at all different sports. I was a really good outfielder in baseball. I had a cannon as an arm. Wrestling, I just was very aggressive. I always wrestled older. I always wrestled like older kids, and I was just very successful. And I remember making it to the States, and I believed I was one match away from placing, and I lost. So that was the heartbreak of that. But other than that, I mean, I just my dad basically put me in everything, and he said, "Listen, you're very hyper. We want you to be active. So listen, do whatever you can." And I'm glad that I narrowed it down to football because it was a tough decision between football and wrestling, and they kind of go hand in hand, but then they don't, because you have to sacrifice for wrestling just as you do for football. But if you sacrifice for wrestling, you're not going to be able to play football. Just like if you sacrifice for football, you're not going to be able to wrestle. But I just, tried to ride it out for as long as I could. I even got to, wrestle at Del Barn while I was there until I transferred. But it was a really fun experience just playing all those different sports. And, it really helped my character. It helped me as a person. And it basically shaped who I am today.
Yeah. No, I just have the utmost respect. I mean, it's not easy to do that. You might have answered this question before, but when it comes down to the game of football, I mean, just some of the intangibles that stand out to you. I'm wondering, whether it be a practice or it's a game, or I said when you're outside of those conditions, just our surroundings. So just what comes to your mind? Just what, something that will strike you, and just like, maybe, just had to ask you about that, Trey.
Just the overall discipline. I think that's the biggest thing about playing football is just discipline. Just knowing that, when you're out in public, when you're not playing football, you always have to be mindful that, I'm a football player. I can't do it. Am I supposed to eat this? Am I supposed to drink this? Did I drink enough water today? Did I stretch? Just having that overall discipline, because a lot of the time, you get mixed up with, I'm a football player and I do it when I want to play football, but it's really a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Football is a lifestyle. And, if you really love the sport, whether it be football, whether it be soccer, whether it be fencing, anything, you have to live your life around that sport, to be where you want to be. So if you want to be a professional, that's what they're doing. No matter what they're doing, they always have football first. I remember hanging out with Arthur Millette, who's a Steelers DB. And I just remember him saying, like, oh, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. Oh, wait, I could eat this. And I just remember him writing stuff down as he was eating, just calculating his calories, watching what he eats. And, he also told me a story about how they get paid to come into camp at certain weights. They come in at certain body fat percentages, and they get paid for it. They get bonuses. So, if you're this fast, if they put you through drills and you do this fast enough, you get a $2,000 bonus. So just overall, like, being aware that you're a football player or you're a basketball player and you have to live your life around that is probably the biggest thing I could say about being an athlete in general.
Yeah. I mean, just because the season stops, or ends,
Right.
doesn't mean you take off the next couple months. It's 24/7, 365, and the grind. And you're well in tune with what the standards to live by or up to, and
Yes.
that's great. Okay, I'm wondering. I said when it comes to the NFL, Trey, any players that you pay particular attention to? I know you mentioned a couple before, of course, that have helped you,
Yes.
along the way. But I'm just wondering, when it comes to the game, just if there's anyone that you definitely watch out for on Sundays.
I got to go with my man Buda Baker
Okay.
over on the Cardinals. I think I have a similar play style to him, very scrappy,
Yeah.
very just elusive, just a playmaker, and he'll come down and hit you. So I would give a little shout out to Buda Baker, definitely my favorite player. And then I also got to give a shout out to Jamal Adams, definitely a disruptor, not only as a defensive back but also as a blitzer. And I think that's what I kind of model my game after. So I got to give a shout out to those two guys.
That's great. Okay, what again? Just what's so great about you that you volunteered at football camps, close to your home, taught the kids. I know you said about adversity, discipline, commitment to your goals. So you're in a perfect spot. As the last question, here, what your message is for those younger kids, athletes, even your teammates that are still at St. Joe's now here heading into their senior years, and even the underclassmen as well, Trey.
I would probably give them my motto, turn on, with God, all things are possible. When you put God first, and no matter what situation you're in, it's going to get better. And you just got to keep working, and you'll always be rewarded for being disciplined and doing the right thing. I could say that for sure. No matter what it's in. So if you want that scholarship and you're doing what it takes to get that scholarship, you're going to get it. So that's what I have for the younger kids, and just don't give up, no matter what. Someone's going through a harder, time than you are, especially through this COVID stuff. There's somebody, who's with their family and their families are struggling, and just be grateful for what you have. And I'm always grateful, for my support system and my coaches and just everyone that has made a big impact on my life. So that would be my message that I have for those younger kids. Just be grateful and just always keep God first.
That's wonderful. Yeah, it's almost like a full circle moment, I'm sure, for you. Like when you first came in, like learning from those upperclassmen, those juniors and seniors, and now here being able to pay it forward in your senior year, being able to pass down that knowledge, that expertise to the underclassmen, Trey.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of just the whole success of the St. Joseph program. Just having those upperclassmen that really become leaders and help the younger guys. I remember when I was a sophomore and junior, some of my closest friends today were seniors. And they're in college, very successful now, and some of them are looking, to go to the NFL and probably will. And they still keep into contact with me, and I will always, thank them for all the advice and all the tips that they gave me So I think that's a big part of also the St. Joe's success, is just having the good enough guys, in the program that really help the younger people.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, Trey, you get the last word here in terms of your message to family, friends, teammates, classmates, St. Joseph Regional High School. Uh, you know, anyone else you want to mention in terms of trainers, said other coaches as well. I give you the floor.
Okay, so I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm going to
Okay.
give a shout out to my family, for always being there for me, never missing games, helping me never miss workouts. I want to give a shout out to a few trainers that have really impacted my success. Coach Nas Oliver at St. Peter's Prep, Jonathan Casillas, former New York Giant, who I'm working with now, Coach Sylvester Wright. I want to thank my Uncle Marty, for never missing any games. My Aunt Sharice, for just their always support, no matter if I was hurt, if I was doing well, if I was doing bad. And then I want to give a shout out to my coaches at St. Joseph Regional, who I'll be representing coming up in the North-South game. Thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you guys being a believer in me. And always sticking with me no matter what, no matter, my attitude, if I had a rough day that day, and just, sending me on those blitzes. I appreciate you guys because you guys got me home. And then I want to give a shout out to my coaches at Lafayette, Coach Troxel, Coach Clendenue. I'm excited for this new chapter. You guys are getting a dog, and I'm ready to get in there and work and, dominate on the next level and see where it takes me. And then I want to give one more shout out to Lawrence Taylor, who I actually spoke with on the phone my sophomore year. And I will always remember you telling me, you said, "Are you starting?" And I said, "No." And you said, "What are you waiting for?" So that's what I wanted. That's how I wanted to finish it.
Sounds good. Hey, well said. Incredible honor and privilege being able to interview you, Trey. Congrats again on your success graduating from St. Joseph Regional High School, as well as what you were able to do on the varsity football team here the past 3 years. And wishing you all the best in Lafayette College, and looking forward to seeing what you do again on the football field, for them this upcoming fall.
Thank you so much, Sunil. I appreciate you having me on, and I'm excited, and hopefully you follow my college career.
Thank you.
Thank you.